A very good afternoon, ma'am. First of all, let me extend a hearty welcome on behalf of Collegedunia. Thank you so much for sparing your valuable time towards the Thoughts on Education initiative.
Thanks a lot, Jobin.
Ma'am, you have held key positions at educational institutes throughout your professional career. What are the key factors that keep you connected with the education sector in particular?
The very foremost is information literacy, then upskilling and upgrading yourself, then application of talents and skills available within myself as well as whatever human resources are available with me, then exchange of experiences, quality assessments, and learning from the best practices. These are the six factors, key factors.
Right, ma'am. Ma'am, as the principal of the institution, what is your philosophy of leadership? How would you describe your leadership style?
My leadership style will be more of collaborative type, where I will also include coaching style, but it should be at the same time transformational, which will be leading towards the achievement of whatever vision and goals I have set up for myself and for the institute as a whole. Talking about educational philosophy of leadership, in a nutshell, I will try to create a positive culture, positive, healthy culture amongst the students, the staff, the entire institutes, rather than escaping from certain things. And being an educational administrator, I should also be building a positive relationships. Rather, I'm doing it with all the stakeholders involved. It might be students, it might be parents, it might be the government officials, etc. And I try to be real, honest, transparent, and I lead by doing it. And I want also to be a leader who explicitly communicates with all stakeholders and passionately implement to all the key components which I have said just now.
Wonderful, ma'am. Ma'am, as the head of the institute, how do you strategize about the key programs and plans for the marketing as well as for the administration of your institute?
Talking about marketing strategies, honestly speaking, I don't require any planning or marketing strategies over here because mouth publicity always played a very key role in my college case, where the students, they come in by themselves, and the main thing which attracts the students towards my college is that I ensure that quality education is being provided to all the students in my college. And talking about the effective and efficient administration in my college, I will like to point out few factors like which I stress upon and I make others also to follow it. It is basically planning, discipline, punctuality, positive, clear communication, integrity, managing the workload, motivation, trust, and confidence. All this helps me to be a very good administrator.
Right, ma'am. Ma'am, how does the curriculum of SVCE ensure the best practice of the industry? Or to put it in other words, how do you make your students industry ready?
Industry ready, I invite various, as you must be aware that campus interviews are a must in all the situations. We follow the same practice, but at the same time, I ensure that apart from the regular curriculum which we impart in SVC, I stress upon character building, personality development, then ensuring employability skills amongst the students. All these things are highly taken care of.
Right, ma'am. Ma'am, what is your opinion on the new national education policy introduced in 2020, and how do you think it will benefit the students to become corporate ready?
Talking about educational policy, actually it is a refreshing shift and a bold corrective action in our approach towards education in India. But at the same time, it is quite challenging also. Technology will now play a much bigger role, not just in planning and administration, but also in case of pedagogy, content, and assessment in whole also. And all this is definitely definitely very, very futuristic and transformative. The increased focus on information technology or technology as a whole, or digital empowerment of schools and colleges will encourage institutions to definitely upgrade their technology, at the same time infrastructure, and it will try to offer more virtual and seamlessly integrated platforms, and thus create lively environments for the students to learn instead of emphasizing on rote learning. And moreover, there is a holistic approach in learning of all the subjects. So definitely, I'm myself looking very positively towards this education policy, and I'm quite sure that it will definitely change the face of Indian education.
Right, ma'am. Ma'am, what do you think are your roles and responsibilities to the institute and to the students?
The key role of a principal of any institute is to provide good leadership, direction, and coordination within the college, within the institute. The principal's main focus should be to develop and maintain effective educational programs within the college, and at the same time promote the improvement of the ongoing teaching learning processes also. In my view, overall, five key responsibilities are mainly or should be mainly followed by the principal. Firstly, shaping a vision of academic success for the students, then creating a climate hospitable to all-round development or personality development of the students, then cultivating leaderships in others too, then managing people, data, and processes, and at the same time, effective and efficient overall functioning.
Right, ma'am. Ma'am, what do you think should be the institute's top priority over the next 10 years?
There are quite a few. The very first, which I think is increase success in recruiting and retaining excellent faculty, maintaining and increasing communications and transparencies of processes throughout the institution, then continuously reviewing and improving the assessments of overall learning outcomes, then establish procedures to assure academic programs and grants are appropriate to our mission, and build sustainability processes to maintain program over time. Also, regularly review and evaluate current programs for relevancy to the employment of our students within the workforce. And finally, emphasize on research workforce and relevant educational requirements. At the same time, meet or exceed key performance indicators at all levels. And finally, assure that all the policies and procedures are rational, stable, and are consistent across all the campus entities, and they align with the whatever policies the institution has earlier framed.
Right, ma'am. Ma'am, when you first came to SVCE, what was your vision for the institute? Has it evolved over time, and how far along in implementing that vision are you?
Initially, definitely, my vision was not so broad in many aspects, but then it evolved very extensively as well as intensively. And as I gradually took steps ahead in my career and in my personal life, progress and success was bound to take place. And I'm fortunate enough to have received enough exposure wherever I desired and I required, and also possessed enriching life experiences, learning experiences. And now it is not yet complete, it is yet a far way to go ahead.
Right, ma'am. Ma'am, what would be that one thing that you would like people to know about your institute that they might not know?
Strong employee attitudes, then conducive environment in my institute, strong and healthy relationships with students amongst the staff is already there, but also with the students, high integrity and excellent customer service.
Wonderful, ma'am. Ma'am, what do you see as the greatest strengths of SVCE?
Quality education is the greatest strength of my college. Then young, energetic, and skillful staff members, discipline and punctuality, open, friendly atmosphere, enhancing employability skills. These are the greatest strengths which I feel.
Right, ma'am. Ma'am, how do you tend to establish a healthy relation and a healthy environment in your institute?
Generally, for healthy environment and healthy relationships also, we should be very open and frank enough with each other, which I have already emphasized a lot many things. And building trust and confidence in others is also equally important than having clear and positive, effective communication. Transparent processes, give respect, take respect are some of the important things which helps to have a very healthy, positive, conducive environment in my institute.
Right, ma'am. Ma'am, the education systems in India and other foreign countries are structured very differently. In your experience, what can an inbound foreign student gain from studying here in your institute?
Talking about in my institute, initially my vision was definitely to go far ahead. And talking about foreign institutes coming to my college, we are already having lot many plans, working in collaborations, having exchange programs. Can you please repeat the other part of the question also?
Ma'am, what do you think an inbound foreign student can gain from studying here in your institute?
Inbound foreign student here will be open for any kind of market wherever he will be placed. And definitely a good positive attitude approach towards life. Apart from academics, even all the other things are also very important, which we cater to all these things.
Right, ma'am. Ma'am, you did mention a few plans for your foreign expansions. Ma'am, what are some of those plans that you're currently designing or will be designing in near future for SVCE's international affairs and international students?
Yeah, now as you must be well aware that a credit-based system or curriculum is being put in almost all the universities and college institutes. So we are basically designing some kind of credit-based curriculum or courses where the student can, after completing that particular course, he can stand in any global market.
Right, ma'am. Ma'am, what are, in your opinion, some of the biggest challenges that you see both for the higher education sector in general as well as for your institute specifically?
In general, what I think is recruiting, identifying, recruiting and sustaining excellent faculty is the biggest challenge, not only for my institute, but also it might be the case in many other higher educations also. Secondly, talking about my particular institute, since we are into teacher training colleges, we are in imparting B.Ed, M.Ed degrees. Over here, whatever new education policy has framed in terms of teacher education colleges, teacher training colleges, that shifting will be a little bit challenging for us. That transformation might take some place, some time, some pace as such.
Right, ma'am. Ma'am, so before we wind up this interview, are there any suggestions or any advice that you would like to give to the current youth and to the aspiring students?
For the youth, only one thing which I can talk about is that let the youth do only that thing which gives them pleasure, which keeps them self-motivated, and it also helps to sustain their interest. Then have a positive approach, be optimistic, and always carry a positive attitude. And then success is bound to follow you.
Wonderful, ma'am. Ma'am, once again, thank you so much for sparing your valuable time for the Thoughts on Education initiative. Ma'am, I'm sure that the thoughts that you've shared today on this platform will be deeply insightful and motivational to students past, present, and future. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yes, thank you, Jobin, so much. Thanks for this opportunity. Thank you.